The thing that I always tell people is that yes, you can spend way too much money on a live TV streaming service, so it's important to compare them together to make sure that you're not spending any more than you have to. In this video, I will compare every live TV streaming service against each other, but before I do, it's important to define some things. When I say live TV streaming service, I'm talking about a streaming service where the main event is having the same live channels that you'd get over broadcast TV or cable, except, streaming over the internet. With live channels, everything is on a schedule. You can either tune in live or record something and watch it later. Examples of live TV streaming services that I'll talk about in this video are YouTube TV and Philo. This contrasts with streaming services like Netflix or Disney+, where you select the shows and movies from a menu and then can binge watch them on your own schedule. With these types of services, live channels aren't the main event, and you generally don't have to record anything because it's waiting for you in the guide. I'll call that category on-demand streaming services. These on-demand streaming services are in some cases significantly cheaper than their live TV counterparts. So the first question that you have to ask yourself is, can I get everything that I want to watch from something like Netflix or Hulu or Prime Video or Max? And the answer for a lot of people is yes. So why would you get a live TV streaming service even if it's a lot more expensive? There's a few reasons for that. These streaming services remain some of the only places where you can stream certain sports, cable news channels, live events like award shows, or current seasons of some TV shows. You can also watch everything consolidated from different TV outlets in the same app. But I think the biggest reason for most people is sports. While you can find most major entertainment programs with the on-demand services, sports are still pretty sparse through the on-demand services like Netflix or Max, although to be fair, that is changing. But in general, you'll need a streaming service that includes those live channels if you want to watch sports like the NFL or MLB or NBA. So now that that's out of the way, in this comparison video, I've broken everything up into 3 categories based on price. There's the budget tier, which are between $8 to $14 a month, the mid tier, which is $20 to $55 a month, and the premium tier, that's $73 a month and up. This video includes every live TV streaming service that is available to stream legally at the time I'm recording this video in November of 2024. At the end of the video, I'll also go through a new sports streaming service that is set to launch in the near future, possibly. More on that later. And I will say this is going to be a long video, so if you want to skip ahead to anything, I will have chapter times in the description. Or as a reminder, in the settings on this video on YouTube, you can adjust the speed that you're watching it. So let's get on to the budget tier, where I have 3 streaming services that all start out at less than $8 a month. Now with these first 2 streaming services, these are primarily going to be on-demand streaming services, and that the main event with both of them is going to be their on-demand movies and shows. But both of these streaming services also throw in some live channels too. Notably, they throw in the local broadcast channels NBC and CBS. And since Paramount Plus and Peacock are going to be the cheapest ways that you can legally stream your local channels, I'm including them in this list. So first up, we've got Peacock. This is the streaming service from NBC Universal. You'll find many of the shows and movies from their company like The Office and Shrek. Peacock has 2 plans, Peacock Premium, which is $7.99 a month, or Peacock Premium Plus, which is $13.99 a month. At the time I'm recording, Peacock does not offer a free trial. Now on that lower cost plan, you can stream Hallmark Channel, Hallmark Mystery, and Hallmark Family. You can also stream some NFL games, including Sunday Night Football, and live sporting events like WWE. Now with Peacock Premium Plus, you can stream everything that the lower cost plan has, and you also get access to your local NBC station where you can watch all of NBC's shows, sports, and local news. So if you're after Hallmark Channel or WWE, or you just want access to your local NBC station without messing around with an antenna, I do think that Peacock is a good choice. Next up, we've got Paramount Plus. Their pricing structure is pretty similar to Peacock. You can pay $7.99 a month for their cheaper Paramount Plus Essential plan. This gives you access to some NFL games and other live sports alongside CBS News. Or you can pay $12.99 a month for their Paramount Plus with Showtime plan, and with that, you get full access to your local CBS station. This plan also includes the live feed of the Showtime channel. Both of Paramount Plus's plans offer a 7-day free trial, and on occasion they do extend their trials out to 30 days instead. But take note that while Peacock and Paramount Plus include many of the shows from CBS and NBC available to watch on demand, neither of them offer a cloud DVR, which gives you the ability to record shows like the other streaming services that I'll go over in this video. So finally, in the budget tier, we've got Frndly TV. This one is going to be different from Paramount Plus and Peacock in that their live channels are the main event. Now, I've talked to some people that really love their Frndly TV subscription and think it's a great deal, but just be aware that Frndly TV does appeal to a specific niche. With Frndly TV, you get access to over 50 live channels, and their plans start at just $8 a month. Not bad, but whether their channels appeal to your interests depends on what you're looking for. With Frndly, they include the A&E networks such as A&E, Lifetime, and History. They've also got INSP, MeTV, Hallmark Channel, Game Show Network, Great American Family, Up TV, Local Now, and the Weather Channel. There's a relatively large selection of channels here with Frndly, although they don't offer any sports channels or any news channels unless you count the Weather Channel. As for local channels, they actually have begun including some local networks in a handful of cities, but it doesn't include any of the big four broadcasters. So no NBC, CBS, Fox, or ABC stations. I'll display the list of local networks Frndly carries on the screen here. And as a Kansas Citian, I do have to say it's notable that they include 38 The Spot, because that was the network that carried the Chiefs' preseason games. I know from different people that I talked to that 38 The Spot was pretty elusive to find on streaming, but anyway. Now, when I think of the core brand of Frndly TV, I think of the Hallmark Channel and other kind of Hallmark adjacent networks like Great American Family and Lifetime. For that reason, I imagine they do a lot of business around the holidays as people are looking for those Hallmark Channel Christmas movies. Although, to give a more complete picture here, when I go to the most watched section, I see a range of series beyond just Hallmark that people seem to be watching on Frndly TV, including westerns, classic TV, sitcoms, crime dramas, game shows, and reality series. So there are a variety of different series that you can watch with Frndly. I've also seen people comment that they get it as a complement to YouTube TV because Frndly TV includes the A&E networks like Lifetime and History that YouTube TV does not. Frndly TV has 3 plan tiers that you can either get billed monthly, which ranges from $7.99 a month to $11.99 a month, or yearly, which is the equivalent of $6.99 to $9.99 a month. All of their plans offer a 7-day free trial. The channels are exactly the same with each plan. The difference is in whether the content is in HD or SD, the length of the time you can keep the recordings, and the number of simultaneous streams you can have. Frndly TV offers an unlimited cloud DVR on either their classic or premium plans, meaning you can record as many shows as you want without any space restrictions and can keep them for up to either 3 months or 9 months, depending on your plan. Just take note that if you get the basic plan, it does not include a DVR, and without recording shows through the DVR, there is no way to skip past commercials. So moving on from Frndly, one bonus thing that I'll mention before I get done with the budget tier is that you can watch both a 24/7 live feed of your local PBS station as well as PBS Kids for free through their respective apps. So that does it with the budget tier. Next we'll move on to the mid tier and we'll start with a streaming service that's fairly new. That's going to be Now TV. This is a live TV streaming service that borrows its name from a similar service in the UK. Fun fact, both Now TV and Peacock have the same parent company, and that's Comcast. Now TV gives you over 40 live channels at just $20 a month, alongside a subscription to Peacock Premium. Take note, however, that this is not Peacock Premium Plus that includes NBC. They also have a bundle for $30 that also gives you Netflix and Apple TV Plus. Not bad. Channels you'll get on Now TV include those from A&E Networks, AMC Networks, Discovery Networks, Hallmark Channel, Great American Family, Game Show Network, and the Weather Channel. Notice that there's no sports networks or news networks, nor are there any local broadcast channels. Oh yeah, and there's one other significant catch. You must get an internet plan from Xfinity to get Now TV. On top of this, their DVR only includes 20 hours of recordings, which is nothing compared to some of the other live TV services I'll discuss in this video that give you unlimited recordings. Now, I suppose if you're shopping for a new internet plan and you're thinking about getting one from Xfinity, then you might consider getting this Now TV service as an add-on to your internet. But until it's available available to customers that don't get an Xfinity internet plan, it's hard for me to say if this is something that I would recommend just yet. Now on to the streaming service that probably has the most similar channel lineup to Now TV, and that's Philo. Philo makes it simple with just one plan at $28 a month after a 7-day free trial. With Philo, you won't find any sports channels, news channels, or local broadcast channels, but you will find a ton of great entertainment networks. They have over 70 channels, including those from AMC Networks, A&E Networks, Discovery Networks, Hallmark Channel, Great American Family, Up TV, MeTV, and the Game Show Network, alongside the networks from Paramount that Now TV doesn't have, by the way, like Paramount Network, MTV, Nickelodeon, and Comedy Central, just not CBS. And one recent addition to Philo is that they now offer AMC Plus included with your subscription at no extra cost. The plan that's included is the ad-supported tier of AMC Plus, but they do give you the option to upgrade to the ad-free tier for an extra $4 a month. But the live channels and AMC Plus aren't the only things that you can watch through the Philo app. You can also get add-ons with Philo like Stars or MGM Plus, and they also have dozens of free channels that you can watch with or without a Philo subscription. In fact, if you'd like to get a feel for the Philo app, you can watch those free channels without entering any credit card details. Just go onto their website and select sign up for free channels to get registered. They even let you record some of the shows on the free channels that you can keep for up to 30 days, which is a pretty neat feature that you don't normally get with the free streaming apps. As for recording the channels that come with a paid subscription, Philo has an unlimited cloud DVR with recordings that you can keep up to 12 months. To record something, just select save, and then it will show up under the saved tab. But remember, unless you set something to record, there are going to be commercials, and frankly, some of the channels have quite a few. My advice is to remember that the DVR is unlimited, so save as many shows as possible so that you can skip past the advertising once you watch it. Now, since they don't have sports channels on Philo, it feels like ultimately what they're competing against isn't so much the other live TV services like YouTube TV, as much as it is the on-demand services like Paramount Plus or Max. If it's those entertainment shows that you're after, consider if you want to sign up for Philo and have everything consolidated into one app, but maybe have to sit through some advertising if you want to watch something live. On the flip side, you could sign up for the on-demand services like Paramount Plus or Max, and maybe even pay a little bit extra for the ad-free tiers, even if it means hopping back and forth between different apps. So let's move on to the next streaming service. Now, earlier in this video, I mentioned how Comcast was diving into the world of streaming with both Peacock and Now TV, but it turns out they aren't the only cable company with a streaming service. Spectrum, which is owned by Charter Communications, now has a live TV streaming service that is called Spectrum TV Stream, which launched in April of 2024. This streaming service costs $40 a month, at least for the first year, and offers a very comprehensive lineup of over 90 entertainment and news networks. While it's missing local channels and sports channels, you'll find almost every major cable channel, including those from A&E Networks, AMC Networks, Warner Bros. Discovery, Paramount, and Hallmark. There's news channels like CNN and Fox News, as well as kids networks like Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and Disney Channel. And looking through their lineup, it seems like the only major channels that I'm seeing that are missing are those that are owned by NBC Universal, like E! or Bravo. Keep in mind, NBC Universal is owned by their rival company, Comcast. Now, one major downside to Spectrum TV Stream is that while it does have shows you can watch on demand with advertising, there's no cloud DVR. So if there's a show that you want to watch that's not in their on-demand guide and you didn't watch it live, you're just out of luck. Like Comcast did with Now TV and Xfinity, Spectrum has made their TV stream plan available to Spectrum internet customers only. So if you're looking for a new internet service, this might be something to consider. But overall, my feeling is pretty similar to Now TV. It's not really something I would recommend otherwise. Next up, we've got Sling. Sling is a streaming service that's owned by Dish. Unlike Philo, Frndly, and Now TV, they do actually include some sports channels as well as news channels, and they even have some local channels, at least depending on your city. Now let me just say this about Sling right off the bat. You're probably going to have to make some sort of compromise if you get Sling. It's kind of like you put one thing in, you take one thing out, you do the hokey pokey, but the trade-off is you do save some money versus some of the higher price services like YouTube TV. So let's get into their channel lineup, which I will say is complicated. They opt for a color-coded system with an orange plan and a blue plan. I don't really think there's any kind of rhyme or reason for which channels go on which plan, other than perhaps the contracts that they set up with these different companies. The orange plan is $40 a month and includes 6 channels. The blue plan does not, including ESPN and the Disney Channel. The blue plan is also $40 a month and includes 14 channels. The orange plan doesn't, such as Bravo, Discovery, FS1, FX, Fox News, MSNBC, NFL Network, TLC, and truTV. Altogether, there are 26 channels you'll get on both the orange and blue plan, like AMC, CNN, Comedy Central, HGTV, TBS, and TNT. To get every channel on both the orange and blue plan, you'll pay $55 a month. Now, Sling doesn't offer a free trial, but there's usually some kind of sign-up discount. For example, at the time I'm recording this video, you can get $25 off your first month. So what's not included? There are some channels like Hallmark, Paramount Network, NBA Network, and VH1 that for some reason are only included as add-ons, even if you get the orange and blue plan. And even though they have Nick Jr., none of the plans or add-ons have Nickelodeon. Plus, you won't find any of the regional sports networks like Bally Sports affiliates. As for local channels, there actually are local affiliates from NBC, ABC, and Fox, depending on your city, but no cities have CBS with Sling. You can plug in your zip code on their website to see if the local channels are included in your area. But if they are, take note that the price can go up by $5 a month depending on your city. Now, one thing that I like about Sling is that if you watch your local channels for free with an antenna, they give you the ability to watch those free channels alongside the paid channels all through the same app. You will need some equipment to do this though, either the Air TV, which is a device that they sell, or you'll need an LG Smart TV from 2020 or newer. Otherwise, you can watch the local channels just like you normally would, it just won't be all together in the same app. As for recording shows, you get 50 hours of cloud DVR storage, or you can pay an extra $5 a month to get 200 hours of storage. But there's some channels you can't record with for some reason, like ESPN3 and the SEC network. The lack of an unlimited DVR is a drawback compared to the other live TV streaming services that do include that feature. Now, if you have the Air TV device, it lets you record shows using your antenna and watch them through the Sling app. I tried this out myself, and while I did really like it at first, the longer I spent with the app, the more clunky this started to seem. The shows you record with your antenna are saved to a physical device that has a separate storage balance compared to the cloud DVR. So even though it's all through the same app, it treats it like you have 2 different DVRs. And if you record a show on the physical DVR at the same time you record something on the cloud DVR, and you have multiple people in your household who try to watch those shows as they're recording, especially if you try to pause and rewind, things get glitchy. One last thing I'll mention about Sling is that there are over 500 free channels that you can watch in the app, regardless of whether you have a subscription or not. This is similar to what Philo is doing with their app. Like Philo, Sling gives you 10 hours of cloud DVR storage, even if you don't have a paid subscription. They call their free service Sling Free Stream. Now, I do think Sling is a good service, and you save a little bit of money versus something like YouTube TV and Fubo, but it is an example where you get what you pay for if you splurge and pay a little bit extra to get one of those premium tier services. So with that in mind, let's get on to the premium tier, where it's fair to have a little sticker shock. Yes, these streaming services get expensive. And I'll start with a streaming service you've likely heard of before, and that's YouTube TV. YouTube TV is of course the live TV streaming service from YouTube, although it's on a separate app and has a separate website from regular old YouTube, which is of course the platform where you're watching this video. YouTube TV has just one English language plan that they call the base plan for $72.99 a month. They also have a Spanish language plan for $34.99 a month. I do like that they keep their plan options fairly simple without a bunch of different plan tiers. Now, one of the good things about YouTube TV is there is almost always a sign-up discount for new customers and a free trial. I've seen their free trial last as long as a whopping 21 days. With YouTube TV, you'll get all of the major local networks, including PBS. There's sports channels like ESPN and NFL Network. There's news channels, including the big 3 cable networks, CNN, Fox News, and MSNBC. There's the Hallmark Channel, there's AMC networks, there's TBS, TNT, and truTV. And while it's not included with the base plan, you can pay extra to get NFL Sunday Ticket and watch it together in the YouTube TV app. Now, while you can get this on its own directly through YouTube, it does end up being cheaper if you get it as an add-on to YouTube TV instead. So what's not included with YouTube TV? Well, you get both the NFL Network and NBA Network included with the base plan, they do not carry the MLB network. And if it's regional sports networks that you're after, like Altitude Sports or Bally Sports, which is now known as FanDuel Sports Network, you won't find these on YouTube TV either. The one exception is going to be some cities do have NBC Sports affiliates. Another cluster of channels that they're missing are the A&E networks, such as History and Lifetime. Now, if the A&E networks are a deal breaker for you, one solution is to get YouTube TV alongside Frndly TV, which starts at just $8 a month. Now, on to recording shows. YouTube TV includes an unlimited DVR that they call the library, which lets you record as much as you want and keep the recordings up to 9 months. One weird thing about the DVR though is that you can't record individual episodes. Once you set a series to record, it's all or it's nothing. There are some movies and shows that you can watch on demand through YouTube TV, even if you don't record them, but all of the on-demand stuff includes advertising that you can't skip past. Now, when it comes to watching channels in 4K definition, they do offer that with YouTube TV, but they require you to pay extra with the 4K Plus add-on. Besides that, they also offer a pretty neat multi-view feature, although you can only select from certain channels. Now, one thing that I don't like about YouTube TV is that while you can add multiple profiles for the different people in your household, each profile has to be signed in with a separate Google account, and setting up this process is more cumbersome than other services that I've tried. And it continues to be rather frustrating that they don't have a bundle option with either YouTube Music or YouTube Premium. But despite that, YouTube TV does have some pretty neat features that other live TV streaming services do not. For example, if you want to reduce the delay for live broadcasts so you get closer to real time, they give you that option. You can view sports scores directly in the app, and they've introduced integration with fantasy football from the NFL and Yahoo. YouTube TV remains the most popular live TV streaming service, and for good reason. Even though there are some missing pieces, they have a fantastic channel lineup, and it's slightly cheaper than the other premium tier options. But as someone who has helped parents from a different generation get set up with YouTube TV, I do think there are some elements of the app that can be confusing for people that are switching from streaming to cable. So let's talk about your other premium tier options. Another very popular live TV streaming service is Hulu Plus Live TV. This streaming service is owned by Disney and includes not only live channels, but what is by far the most comprehensive lineup of movies and TV shows of any of the live TV streaming services. That's because they bundle it together with Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and regular Hulu, aka the Disney Bundle. So what's the difference between regular Hulu and Hulu Plus Live TV? Hulu has two services that are both in the same app. Standard Hulu is their much cheaper on-demand streaming service that's similar to Netflix or Prime Video. And then there's Hulu Plus Live TV, which is their streaming service that includes the live channels. You have two main plan options with Hulu Plus Live TV. The first is $82.99 a month and includes advertising on all of their on-demand movies and shows. The second is $95.99 a month and removes ads from most of the on-demand shows and movies through Hulu and Disney Plus. The live channels, on the other hand, will always include advertising unless you record the shows and skip past the ads. Now, if you don't want the Disney bundle, they do offer the live channels on their own, but at $81.99 a month, it's only a $1 difference, so you might as well get the bundle. So how does the bundling work with all of this? In the Hulu app, you can watch the live channels, you can watch standard Hulu, and you can watch sports from ESPN Plus. But for Disney Plus, you'll still need to hop over to the Disney Plus app and sign in with the same username and password that you use to set up your Hulu account. But let's get on to the channel lineup. Like YouTube TV, Hulu Plus Live TV includes all of the main local networks like ABC and Fox, including PBS. And they include most of the same entertainment, sports, and news channels as YouTube TV, but with some exceptions. Hulu Plus Live TV now includes the Hallmark Channel, which they didn't used to. They also have the A&E networks like History and Lifetime, which YouTube TV doesn't have. On the flip side though, Hulu Plus Live TV doesn't have AMC networks or the NBA network. For baseball fans though, one upside is that Hulu Plus Live TV does have the MLB network, which YouTube TV doesn't have. But just like YouTube TV, regional sports networks are basically non-existent, with the exception of some of the NBC sports networks and SNY. When it comes to recording shows, Hulu Plus Live TV includes a cloud DVR that lets you save unlimited recordings for up to 9 months. But there are some downsides with Hulu Plus Live TV. You can only stream from 2 devices at a time, at least without paying extra. And they don't offer live channels in 4K definition or a multi-view feature. And I do have to say, the more time that I've spent with Hulu Plus Live TV, the more I've started to dislike their app interface. In my opinion, it's just not as user-friendly as the other premium tier services like YouTube TV, Fubo, and DirecTV Stream. But despite those issues, if you watch a lot of entertainment content alongside maybe some live sports and live channels, then I think Hulu Plus Live TV is something to consider. Since it's bundled together with Disney Plus and Hulu, you do have a very large selection of on-demand movies and shows that you don't get with other services like YouTube TV. But if you're a hardcore sports fan, you won't get the integration with NFL Sunday Ticket that you would with YouTube TV, nor do you get some of the regional sports networks that you would get with Fubo or DirecTV Stream. Speaking of, that brings me to the final two streaming services that I'll talk about in this video, which also happen to be the most expensive. And the first of the two is Fubo. Fubo is a live TV streaming service that markets itself as being a streaming service for sports fans. But in addition to the sports channels, you'll still get a number of the entertainment networks that you'd find with cable or other live TV streaming services like Hallmark Channel or Paramount Network. You'll also get the big four broadcast networks like CBS and Fox, although they don't have PBS. And they have some of the cable news networks too. Now, at the time I'm recording this video, there's a carriage dispute between Fubo and Warner Bros. Discovery. Warner Bros. Discovery is the company that owns several different cable networks, including CNN, Discovery, TLC, HGTV, truTV, TBS, TNT, among others. So that means none of the channels that are owned by Warner Bros. Discovery are currently on Fubo. On the positive side though, there's several sports channels that Fubo has that YouTube TV and Hulu Plus Live TV do not, including regional sports networks like Frndly Sports Network, aka Bally Sports, and Altitude Sports. Fubo has 3 English language plans ranging from $79.99 a month to $109.99 a month after a free trial, plus 1 Spanish language plan for $32.99 a month. But here's the kicker. If you live in a city that includes a regional sports network, you'll need to pay an RSN fee of up to an additional $14.99 a month. There's no way to avoid paying this fee. That means you'll actually pay a minimum of about $95 a month to get Fubo because of that regional sports network fee. So what's the deal with these regional sports networks? Now, in a lot of cities, to watch your local basketball or baseball or sometimes college sports, you need a specific regional sports network. And these networks are just flat out expensive to get. There's no way around it. That's why some of the streaming services like Sling and YouTube TV and Hulu Plus Live TV choose not to carry them. Now, if you want to, you can subscribe to a lot of these regional sports networks on their own separate streaming services that usually run for about $20 a month. It should also be said that the fate of a lot of these networks is kind of in limbo right now. The company that owns the channels that used to be known as Bally Sports declared bankruptcy, so fast forward to the future and who knows what's going to happen with these RSNs anyway. But for now, if you are after those regional sports networks, the Fubo app offers a very robust way to watch them, especially if you use an Apple TV. Through the Apple TV app, they offer what I consider to be the absolute best version of a multi-view feature that I've tried with any of the live TV streaming services. And they've recently begun rolling out their multi-view feature to Roku devices too. And with their Pro plan, Fubo also offers the ability to stream a selection of live channels in 4K definition. As for recording shows with Fubo, they now offer an unlimited cloud DVR, which lets you record as much as you want and keep it for up to 9 months. Out of all the live TV streaming services that I've tried, I think Fubo has my favorite app interface. I'd consider their layout to be the most accessible for someone who is switching from cable to streaming for the first time. But the biggest downside to Fubo is the channels that it doesn't have. Those include the networks from AMC, and to the frustration of sports fans, they don't include TNT, TBS, or truTV even before that contract dispute with Warner Bros. Discovery. That means you won't be able to watch the MLB, NBA, or college basketball games from those networks if you get Fubo. However, if you subscribe to Max, the streaming service formerly known as HBO Max, those are now included on their service. So if you're a sports fan that's looking for a streaming service that includes TNT, TBS, and truTV, you want the regional sports networks, you want your local networks, and the cable channels like ESPN, then you'll want to check out the last streaming service that I'll talk about in this video, and that is going to be DirecTV Stream. Now, you might know DirecTV for its satellite service, and while they still offer that, that has been sidelined in favor of streaming. But there's one rather confusing thing about DirecTV streaming options that you should know. It can be boiled down to this. DirecTV offers the same streaming service but under 2 different names. One is called DirecTV and requires a 2-year contract. The other is called DirecTV Stream and does not require a 2-year contract. It's month to month with no commitment. But if you see any of the advertising for DirecTV, including the ads with the pigeons, or perhaps talk to a sales representative, they'll try to pitch you on their 2-year contract plan while conveniently leaving out that the month to month option even exists. I don't like their marketing tactics, and for that reason, I came down pretty hard when I reviewed DirecTV Stream in my video review earlier this year. So if you can get past that confusing marketing, I will say that DirecTV Stream, while it is expensive, it does have a good product. Like Fubo, they offer regional sports networks that YouTube TV and Hulu Plus Live TV do not, although you'll want to make sure that you get the choice plan to get those sports channels. They also, of course, offer TNT, TBS, and True TV, as well as pretty much all of the channels that you'd find from the competition. Overall, I like the interface with DirecTV Stream. I would compare it favorably with that of Fubo, and think that both of these services offer something that's fairly accessible to someone who is switching from cable to streaming for the first time. Like Fubo's Pro plan, DirecTV Stream gives you the ability to stream live events in 4K definition, and they also offer an unlimited cloud DVR that lets you keep your recordings for up to 9 months. But DirecTV Stream does not offer a multi-view feature like Fubo and YouTube TV do. The plan I'd recommend for most customers is their choice plan, since that includes the regional sports networks, and the price for it is, get ready for it, $114.99 a month. It's not cheap, but if you want regional sports networks like FanDuel Sports, if you want TNT, TBS, and True TV, and all of your local and cable channels together in the same streaming service, this is your one and only option. So here is my final wrap up and recommendations. Paramount Plus and Peacock are your cheapest options if you want to get access to CBS and NBC respectively, but you don't care about the other live channels. Frndly TV is good if you want to get either the A&E networks like Lifetime or History, or if you really like the Hallmark Channel and similar networks like Great American Family. Now TV and Spectrum TV Stream are okay services if you're switching your internet provider, but their ability to record shows is limited, if not outright non-existent. Philo gives you a bunch of entertainment channels in one place, which can be helpful if you want to watch current season shows, but if you want to skip the ads, consider the ad-free plans with on-demand services like Paramount Plus or Max instead. Sling comes close to replicating the experience of YouTube TV or Fubo, but its limited channel lineup and cloud DVR storage make it feel like it's still something of a compromise. YouTube TV is a great overall service that I think will make the most sense for a lot of people. With a wide channel lineup and a breadth of features, it's hard to beat considering it's lower in price than the other premium tier options. Hulu Plus Live TV is good if you want to get as many live TV channels and on-demand movies and shows from Hulu and Disney Plus on the same bill. Fubo has a fantastic interface and is great for NFL or soccer fans, but the lack of channels owned by Warner Bros. Discovery continues to be a sore spot. And finally, DirecTV Stream has the most comprehensive channel lineup and has an overall good product, but it does come at an expensive cost, and you've got to make sure you aren't suckered into a long-term contract. Now looking ahead, there is one other player that might disrupt the entire game, and that is Venu Sports. This is set to be a joint venture between Disney, Warner Bros. Discovery, and Fox, and will feature all of their live sports networks like ESPN, FS1, and TNT, accounting for most but not all of the major league sports in the United States. It was set to launch in August of 2024 at a reported price of $42.99, but has been pushed back amid some regulatory scrutiny and an antitrust lawsuit from Fubo, who claims that the service was anti-competitive. So we'll see how that goes. But that does it for this very long video. I have covered every live TV streaming service in great detail, doing my best to cover everything that I think you would need to know before signing up. Have you tried any of these streaming services? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And to check out the latest deals on streaming services, make sure to visit my website at shallistreamit.com/deals. As always, if you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel to stay up to date with all things streaming. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.